Today's video is going to be fun because there is no work involved today. So here in Pagosa, there's a Facebook group called Pagosa Springs Message Board. There's actually two groups with the same name, but yesterday in one of those groups, someone posted a picture of our house and questions about it. And there's like over 80 comments.
86 as of today.
Like
yeah, we were surprised.
All kinds of rumors and questions. So we're like, okay, let's do a video to kind of set the record straight. If you haven't been following our channel, we're Tom and Jana Bush. We're retired. Tom is an engineer. I'm a pharmacist. And we came here looking for a project, and we found one.
Or did we? Yeah. Yeah. So the story, well, 89 Indian Paintbrush. We're on the way to Williams Creek Reservoir. That's the house, the underground house. We have seen this, like many of y'all, years ago. I saw this place, and we drove by it, and we were so interested in it, and we thought, wow, it'd be really cool to see inside. And we really thought about it like, hey, let's pull in the driveway. And then we saw cameras and cars and signs. And so we didn't want to get shot. And quite honestly, we found
that
out.
That was a real possibility.
A real possibility. After we bought the property, we saw a sign that said, trespassers will be shot. So we did not. However, whenever we decided to kind of find a project home here, we live in a condo currently north of Lake Pagosa, but we wanted a project home, something to work on. Jana said, you wouldn't believe what I found is what's on the market. So I was really excited. I said, I would just love, I don't think we're gonna buy it, but I'd love to just say I've been inside of it. So we met with our real estate agent, and she showed us around, and then we started finding out a little bit about it. And that's when we really got interested.
Yeah, on our second visit here, we actually walked the property with the son, Bill Davis Jr., and we kind of were asking him questions, and he told us that it was actually built from a kit that was designed by a company out of Durango called Formworks. So as soon as we got back to the condo, we start researching who is Formworks. Well, they're still in business. We messaged them, they called us back the same day, and they're like, yeah, we're familiar with the project. And so we were kind of off and running at that point.
Yeah, they've been in business 40 years. The original founder is still, Dale Percy is still around, and he's retired, but his daughter and son-in-law are running the business. They've done, I think the number's 1,000 of these all over the world. So they're not a fly-by-night company. He's a structural engineer. And so we actually, after we made an offer on the house, we had them come out and do several inspections, including Dale came out to see it himself, and he was involved way back when the project first started. So it started from our records, it looks like 1997 is when they started construction.
Yeah, so Bill and Karen Davis, they were the original owners, and Bill was friends with Dale Percy. And that's how it all started, is Dale had started this company with his brother, designing these homes, selling these kits, and Bill was a friend of his. And so they got started. They ran into an issue. Somebody commented about the concrete was bad and maybe the place was condemned. Well, that wasn't true. It was never condemned. There was a problem with the shotcrete. Maybe you talk about how it was built before we kind of get to that.
Yeah, so the structure itself, you pour the foundation, you put there's little brackets that are set into the foundation, and then there's curved I-beams that it's basically a big cage. So you build this curved I-beam structure, and then around the structure you put rebar in both directions. I think it's on 9-inch centers. And then on the inside you put foam up, like foam panels, and then you spray it from the outside with a shotcrete machine. And shotcrete is the same type of well, it's it's not really, it's concrete, but it's a type of it. The application is such that normal concrete has a strength of like 3,000 to 4,000 psi. Shotcrete is twice as strong, so it's more like 8,000 psi, so super strong. So it's basically if you took a swimming pool and flipped it upside down, that's kind of what we have here. It's a big upside down swimming pool. So that's really what's going here. And what Jana was saying is what they did is it's a big structure. So they're spraying the shotcrete. Evidently, you're supposed to spray it at kind of a steady angle, and they got up to the top, and they didn't have the scaffolding up high enough, so they had to shoot it at an angle for the very top of the roof. And as a result, there's what they called some voids in the shotcrete. So it wasn't. I don't know that it was really a terrible problem because we talked to Dale about it.
Dale said he came out at the time to inspect it because Bill was concerned, and he said, well, it's probably okay, but you might want to do something different. So Bill decided to go on the inside, remove the foam, put in more rebar, and spray it again.
From the inside.
So it's basically twice as thick as any other structure they've ever done.
Yeah, it's one of the strongest ones. We did see a video. They built one of these in Los Angeles County, and if you can build something out there, you can build it anywhere because of all the regulations and the earthquake concerns and all that. And on that one, that was just a normal like 4 inches of shotcrete sprayed from the outside. So they build the structure above ground, and then you push the dirt up on top of it. So in the video, they have a bulldozer and a backhoe up on top of the roof of the building. So, you know,
it's strong.
Super strong, super strong.
Yeah.
The other thing we ought to address too is, I think in some of the comments on the message, Fregosa message board, it said it's a earth ship, it's a underground house. So it's really not like we're not in a cave. Like I say, they didn't dig a hole in the ground. This is actually built above ground and then covered with earth. So technically it's really an earth sheltered home. And we did a little research on earth ships.
So earth ships are apparently made out of recycled materials like tires and bottles, and we don't have any of that here. They're also typically off grid. We have electricity. We're on city water, so thankfully.
Yeah.
I mean, it is going to be very energy and efficient. So in that respect, it's like a earth ship, but that's the only resemblance at all.
Yeah, they say that this type of a earth sheltered home it uses about 10% of the energy of a standard stick-built home of the same size. So very, 10% of the energy cost. Because it's earth sheltered, it also stays at a pretty steady, like 55-degree temperature year round. We'll have to put in some radiant floor heat, and maybe even, you'll get during the summer, we have lots of openings. We'll have lots of windows and skylights, so there'll be some.
They're all boarded up right now, but not for long.
Yeah, so that we're not going to need air conditioning. We're going to need kind of minimal heat just to kind of and it's masonry, so once the masonry gets warmed up, it kind of maintains the heat. It's like a heat sink. So we're excited about that. The more we found out about it, the more we were kind of excited about the idea of, wow, this is really a very unique structure that, has some great advantages over a typical house. One of the other ones is the fire danger. Fire risk has become a really big thing.
It's really hard to get insurance out here, and we may not need it. We may just self-insure because our fire danger is pretty much zero.
Yeah, a wildfire, as long as the openings to the outside are done in the right way, there's really very minimal fire risk. You could have a wildfire run right through the neighborhood and you'd be fine. So the one out in California, the one video there, the guy who did that one, he actually did have some kind of a fire in his neighborhood, and his house was no problems at all. So the fire department didn't even bother with his house. So that's one advantage. I think we ought to probably also talk about did we talk about the prior owners and their situation?
Okay, yeah, so I don't know if we even said their names. Bill and Karen Davis. Maybe we did. Anyway, they started at 1997. So the deal with the shotcrete and the problem with having to reshoot it from the inside, so that cost about $250,000 in late 1990s money. So, I mean, imagine what that does to your budget. And apparently their marriage had some troubles and they ended up getting a divorce. And so that combined pretty much derailed the project. And Bill and his son, Bill Jr., tried to continue. Even as late as, I think, 2017, they had applied to renew their permit. But, you know, they put in this massive septic system, never connected it to the house, so we can't use it. They started with plumbing. There's some plumbing downstairs, some radiant floor heating. The floor is still gravel for the most part, except for the perimeter. But they were never able to connect any plumbing. So there was some comment about there being a leak that they couldn't find. Well, there's no leak as far as plumbing goes. There are some leaks around the skylights, but we totally understand how to fix those. And there's a leak around the bottom of the shell downstairs, kind of where two of the domes meet, but we also know how to fix that. So there's no like mystery leak.
Yeah.
There's no black mold. We've had an inspector out. So it's structurally sound. It's just super ugly right now, but
It was uglier when we bought it.
it was uglier. It was uglier. It was full of 10 tons of stuff that they left us.
Yeah, they had collected a lot of things over the years, and,
Yeah.
and it just,
Our brother-in-law and sister-in-law, Tom's sister, came out and helped us. It was just a massive undertaking. If you want to see how bad it really was, go back and look at day one video.
yeah, day one. You'll see that the stuff here, it went outside too. There were 2 junk cars in the driveway and lots of stuff. So it really was quite an eyesore. But if you could see past all that, there was really some great potential here. So that's kind of why we decided to move forward with it, especially after we found this company Formworks out of Durango. They came and saw it and told us, you know, there's nothing really major here to be concerned about. So after their inspections, we were pretty excited to try to get the deal done. And as it turns out, so we ended up dealing with, Jana had mentioned Bill Davis, and he had two kids, Bill Jr. and Jennifer. And whenever we were looking at the property, we were really dealing with the kids. Bill had several strokes. He was in pretty bad shape, Bill Sr. And so the kids really said, we got to sell the house. We need the money. We got to get Dad into a better place. So our real estate agent, Gina Bacher from Sherpa, did a great job working with both sides, and really both sides were happy. So they were happy, we were happy. It worked out really wonderfully. And then what we found out, so we bought this property in November of last year. Bill Sr. Passed away in March, so he didn't make it. We actually did get to meet him before, after we bought the house and closed on it. He came out here with his son just to meet us, and we actually told him, he was like, yeah, we'd really like to meet your dad. So he came out, and what do you think?
He was just so sweet, just so smart, obviously, so creative, and he was just really cheering us on, you know, saying, you can do this, you can finish it, it's going to be great.
Yeah.
And so we kind of feel like he's here in spirit. One of the neighbors told us that he would sometimes sit out in the courtyard. There's these little weird shelves, and sometimes he would sit over on one of the corner shelves. So sometimes I look over there and think,
Yeah.
hey, Bill, how are we going to do this? What is this here for?
Yeah, we wish he was around
Yeah.
to bounce questions up, but his son, Bill Jr., has been very helpful. But yeah, we got to meet him, and that was pretty cool. And yeah, he's rooting for us. We know that. So, but we actually told him when we first met him, we said, hey, you know, we're gonna get this project done and make your family proud. And he said, well, I'm not sure I'll be here to see it. We said, well, hang in there. And he was right. I guess he knew he was in bad shape. So anyway, Other than that, what else we?
Somebody commented about the budget, and we don't honestly know. We're going to finish it, whatever it takes. Tom's going to be the general contractor. He does have a little experience with this sort of thing.
Yeah.
I am totally out of my element here, obviously.
I always say fake it till you make it, but I've done some hired subs before and done some bigger projects. So and that's one thing. Yeah, we've found some very good subs.
Gosh,
We're
we've
really excited
found
about that.
Amazing people to help us. Like we have an electrician, a plumber who has introduced us to so many people, a septic guy, septic engineer, plaster guy,
Plaster and stucco.
welder,
Yeah.
framer. The people from Formworks are actually doing our drawings, so we don't have a permit yet. That's why we're kind of stuck. But in their defense, they're usually drawing these things from scratch. So to have to recreate it and then take our vision and put it on paper and put it in CAD, it takes some doing. We have gotten the plans for our barn, which is going to be an ADU, basically.
And the barn is actually, it's an outbuilding, 832 square feet, but it really was going to be a barn, but we wanted to make it into a kind of an art studio, like Jenna said, an ADU, mother-in-law suite, father-in-law suite, actually. But in doing that, we need to convert it and put in plumbing and a bathroom and all that. So we're working on that, and that part we've already submitted to the county. We hope to have that approved pretty soon. The house should be not too far behind it. We're pretty close to having the drawings done on it as well.
Yeah.
But
it's a little bigger.
A little bigger, yeah. So the house itself is, they say it's like 8,200 square feet. So 5,000 on the lower level, about 3,200 on the upper level. And then it also has an attached garage. The garage is about, I think it's somewhere 1,500, 1,600 square feet. So if you add up the house, the garage, and the barn, I think it comes up to like 11,300 square feet. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
So it's a lot of square footage. The thing is though, the structure of the building is basically done. We've got some cosmetic stuff to do and the openings and finish out the interior, but it seems doable in our warped minds. We believe we can do it. So
we do have some great ideas. To me, the exterior is really important to get done for our neighbors' sakes, because it's so ugly. Somebody commented it looked like we have 3 dumpsters on our roof. Well, yeah, they look like dumpsters. They're actually skylights.
Yeah, we gotta finish those to where they don't leak too.
Yeah,
so we have to do some work on that.
Some good ideas for making it look a little more modern. Industrial is kind of our style, and we understand the concept of Pagoslo. We do.
Yeah, I think our time. I think somebody might have asked how long is it going to take or all that, and it'll take as long as it takes. We think maybe 2 years.
Yeah.
If it takes longer, great. If it's less, great. The barn, we may finish it out. We may move out here on property. So we got some options, but in the meantime, we're doing some things. If you've watched some of our videos, we've redone the driveway. We've put in some pavers and some clover between it. We're working on the courtyard. We've done a lot of just getting the building ready for construction.
Yeah, so that when we have our permit, we can just go.
Yeah. So anyway, I think
we
get all
we are planning on living here. It's
Okay.
going to be 4 bedrooms in the big house. We have 3 kids that live in Texas, 3 grandkids. So we're hoping that they come, spend time out here, grow to love Pagosa as much as we do. Somebody asked about if we're going to do a tour, open house. We certainly are. We want to have lots of parties, and not wild parties, but like dinner parties, and have people out to show them, because it is weird and people want to see it and we want to share it. But right now it's not really safe. The whole upper level doesn't have any railings. The downstairs is gravel. But once we get occupancy, we'll
Yeah.
definitely invite y'all out because it's going to be cool when we get it done.
Yeah, we know it's got great potential, and if you look on the one link that Jana posted, Formworks, you look on their website, they show some of the projects they've done. There was also a project here in town, or a finished project in town called Wonder House. It's Wonder, H-A-U-S. It's in the Meadows subdivision. It's an Airbnb. They rent it out all the time, and they show some pictures on their website.
It's beautiful.
It's really beautifully done.
Yeah.
So we see that, and we see this, and it's like, yeah, this could be, we can only make it better. So we feel like if we could, capture some of what they've done and some of our own ideas, we can make this place really fantastic. So
Yeah, none of the subcontractors have been scared.
no, in fact, the really great thing is, and you mentioned go slow. We know that things take here a while, but some of the subs that we've talked to have been really excited. They've been out here. They wanted to see it. I'd really like to be involved in this project. So that's the fact that it's so unique, and I think that's going to help us to have subs who are excited and want to work with us on this project and get it done. So did we miss anything? I don't know.
I don't think so.
So if we did, and we kind of looked through all the comments from the message board, if we missed something, just ask again, and if you look on there, I think somebody posted a
link to our channel. So
Yeah.
we'll put the link to this video on that
on the
board, I
message
think.
board. So we have a YouTube channel. It's not like we're not famous or anything. We have just a few
Like
few
less
hundred,
than 300
yeah,
followers.
less than 300. But we started it really just years ago. We had an RV. We traveled around the country, and we were just trying to keep our family up to date. So we had like 36 followers. And then once we bought the property, our real estate agent said, you really should. People are interested. People are asking. So we started to kind of post some videos about that on that. So we're going to keep up with it. So if you want to kind of keep up with our progress, just subscribe,
Yeah.
whatever.
My favorite comment, though, I have to say, was somebody said, Fred and Wilma built it, and Barney and Betty are going to finish it. So we're Barney and Betty.
Barney
Rubble.
and Betty.
I love that comment.
Yeah,
That
that's
was
a
like
good
my
one.
favorite one. Yeah.
That's a
But
good
yeah,
one.
stay tuned. Follow us and see how it goes.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Stay tuned.